whatever you do, do not look into these mirrors. They don't always like to be seen.
Ava was a girl who could see spirits, and she helped Nat and Rose find out what was haunting them.
What are different ways to do a seance that isn't the Ouija board situation that we'd seen before in other films?
And Beth's research uncovered this internet phenomenon known as the Three Kings ritual. So we decided to take this as our inspiration and create our own version of that.
Something I'd never seen before, and I just visually could see how that reflection thing would super creep you out.
Ava was a really demanding role because the seance was such this key set piece in the middle of the film, but it's a really long scene with not only a lot of dialogue, but there's lots of physical stuff going on and lots of dramatic shifts in emotion. And we hadn't found someone who could do what I required. And then a suggestion came from Harris Fazlick, who was one of the producers on the film, and he suggested Ellie Stewart.
She was off script for a 5-page scene, and she just completely commanded the whole room.
The rules are, I will look when I want to. I will look when I want to. I will look when I want to. Stop! Ow, you hurt me! That wasn't very nice. Rose can't help you, but I can if you show me where you are.
We ran it a second time and it was an identical take. I knew a minute into her audition that I was going to cast her, but what made me really excited about this is that her ability to be able to keep matching her performance meant she was going to be able to really not only just hold this scene together, but really drive all of those peaks and troughs throughout it.
We also auditioned her for Rose because she is such a strong actor. But she actually really wanted Ava. She didn't want Rose, and Rose was the bigger role.
Hello, Natalie.
The seance is really cool, just because of so many different aspects that had to go into it to make it work. It was also the only day that we were shooting one scene. It is a 5-page scene, so still a pretty hectic day.
David explained to me how to go shoot it, and without the CGI and things, so it'd be great to see that just pure camera play.
I sat down with our art department crew and we're like, we sat there with a chair and we're like, okay, this is what it needs to do, and we literally moved it up and down and did all these things with it, and then Jules, who was set decking at the time, she just sort of wheels over her office chair and she's like, oh, got it. She takes off all the wheels, and at the bottom of the chair it's got that much of a lip, then she slams it on the ground and then it starts rocking. The main basis was for the actress using kinetic energy to move it herself.
So she'll be able to use the weight of her bum to throw herself around.
The chair was kind of rocky.
We ended up making this chair that was on a boat swivel that kind of locked into place one way and locked into place the other way. So when we did the trial sitting first, so the chair sits that far above the ground. When she tested it out, it was about that far off the ground. It was sweat. She loved it and she didn't want to get down.
You just do the shaking. I just want to see how it looks if it's...
It was kind of like being in a roller coaster. Look, I want to be your friend, but if you keep... Don't move my chair.
To swivel it around, we had this pulley system.
Don't move my chair. The rules are, I will look when I want to. Stop!
Having to have everyone on the floor and out of camera and moving the chair.
The rocking mechanisms actually broke on the day.
Look, I want to be your friend.
Okay. I had to lay down on the ground and rock it and shake it with this arm, which is now completely ruined.
A matter of fact, we actually shot a day for night for a lot of it, so which meant we had to tent off a whole area, and that was quite a big deal because we had quite a large window there. We had really tall ceilings, but not a lot of room either side of it. We had a whole staircase and we had a wall, so there wasn't really much to be able to fit.
We had 22 minutes.
22 minutes?
We start at 3:33.
How can we do certain things in the film that are not the traditional way that you would shoot them. So we're not going to cut back and forward between angles. And Ben had a great idea when we were rehearsing and blocking the seance. And he suggested that the camera be outside the hall looking down towards Nat as Malcolm is explaining what's going to happen.
Ava uses these mirrors as a bridge with the afterlife. If a spirit reveals itself in her right mirror, it's benevolent. If it appears in the left mirror, it signifies evil.
We had this risk of the scene was written where Malcolm is pointing out the left and the right mirrors and the setup, and we didn't shoot any of that. And so we were very much committed to what we shot had to work.
This is dangerous for Ava.
Some gifts are a curse.
Cut, beautiful.
Awesome.
Happy? We can move on. Yes.
All right, that's lunch, guys.
Excellent.
Hallway.
So Ben, that was a very good idea that worked perfectly. Thank you. Really good work, mate. Where it really paid off, I think, is we have this moment of the audience wants to be in there. They want to know what Malcolm is talking about, and we're just holding back for a little bit. Then when we cut to the next scene and we reveal that, what we've heard now, we're actually getting to see it.
We were shooting half of the day this way and then half the day the other way. We also had to, scheduling wise, we had to do clean Lisa and then ghost Lisa as well.
Nat looks to the mirror, and then she just sees me, innocent old me, with no makeup at all.
We had to jump out of order instead of going, wide, mid, close up. We had to go just like straight to only clean Lisa in the mirror, and then get her into 3 to 4 hours of special effects for her to come back down afterwards.
And then when she turns to look at me, she sees Lisa. And then I just look up and smile at her and grab her hand.
And when you're ready.
Oh, sorry, I just went.
End it! End it now! The game is over! The game is over!
In Ava's perspective, it would have been pretty scary, but I thought it was pretty cool.